Alright guys, here's our trip to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Big fire pose. Holy crap.
My dick out.
This is right after the giraffe too. Oh, there's oh yeah. Oh shite.
Is it the giraffe?
Oh, his trailer's on fire. Home on the police.
He hit the emergency button on that one. Oh, I got it.
So our first stop was at the Outdoor World of Bass Pro Shops in Bristol, Tennessee. We just decided to stop there and check it out just because it's a NASCAR famous kind of location. Holy shit. Wow. Wow. You can see for like forever. If you look at like all these trees around here, they're all charred at the bottom. Like you can see them all. That cabin down there, if you can see like through the woods, I'll get better video of it. It was burnt. See it down there. All that's left's the basement. There's like 3 or 4 cabins just on this lane that are just burnt to the ground. Like just the basements are left and there's metal everywhere. It's crazy. It had to come right down through here, just all charred, all these trees. Just a heck of a view. Alright, our cabin was called the Smoky Overlook, and as you can see, it definitely had a smoky overlook. So we had our own bedroom and bathroom in our bedroom, and there was also another bedroom downstairs with a bathroom. But this is ours. There's a little tour. There's a bathroom. You can see the full king-size bed. Dressers. It was pretty nice. Full living room. Chalkboard. Upstairs was pretty nice. Of course, it's very cabiny looking inside, you know, crazy windows overlooking the Smoky Mountains. They had a deck upstairs, like a little loft with a couch and a TV, and there was a big jacuzzi tub in this bathroom upstairs, which is kind of cool. There's a deck out there on the second floor. That was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool cabin. I mean, it really reminded me of a beach house. The view out here is pretty crazy too, if you look at it here in a second. Once we get the door unlocked, they even had a nice fire pit down in the corner, but that view is just like amazing. Like it reminds me of out west, like Colorado or something, but that's just, that view right there just does it all. Right on the outskirts of Gatlinburg here, we went to our first mountain coaster, the Moonshine mountain coaster. So every mountain coaster we went to, we tried to do them at night. This one wasn't too bad. It was about $18 for 2 people. This is just a little tunnel you get to drive through on the way back from Gatlinburg to Pigeon Forge. And that about wraps up day 1. So day 2 typically consisted of a wine tour. We went to several different wineries, I think 4 or 5. You'll see them all here. You get to try wines. They had food there, ice cream, different hard ciders they had, and lots of scenery. You get to see all around the area because they're not all in one spot. You get to drive around and see a bunch of different stuff and different places you might want to go down there, and they're all pretty cool wineries. And there's also a bunch of little shops, like the Old Mill District has a bunch of cool scenic places to see, like this waterfall, and they got shops and stuff back there, and it's just a really nice little thing to do, and it's free, and of course you end up buying some wine. So this was just a little gift shop we went to. That picture before was a piggy bank I actually had when I was a kid, and I found it in there. It was kind of cool. So here we go into day 3. We got to go to the Titanic Museum. This is my probably favorite part. The building's actually built out of like the same size Titanic, but just the front half of it. It's really cool for a museum to be just from the outside. It's cool. You weren't allowed to take any pictures or anything on the first floor. They had a lot of cool artifacts and old stuff from the Titanic. Here's the recreated grand staircase they had, and there's us standing on it for a picture. It was pretty accurate, I'd say, even from the movie. They even had a lot of, stuff from the movie, hint, hint. And also there was a lot of cool history, like about Anne Frank's connection to the Titanic, which was kind of neat, and other stuff like that.
It doesn't say nothing about touching it, believe me.
So here's a recreation of one of the hallways. They had a lot of recreations, like sleeping quarters, and like of course the hallways and the doors and stuff. And they had like the captain's bridge, and this was probably my favorite part. It was really cool. Like they did a really nice job in here making it really look real, like the steering wheel and all the instruments and buttons they had to look at, and even the windows when you'd walk outside. This was just a little thing showing the different times and how it would be like if you were actually on the Titanic to stand while it was sinking. So at the beginning, you get a person with a backstory and everything on this little card, and it tells you all about them. And you don't know during the whole thing if they're going to survive or not. And you sometimes see their names on different documents or pictures throughout the tour. And at the end, there's big boards to see if your guy survived or not. Well, mine unfortunately did not. So that evening, we went to this place called the Island. It just has a bunch of little shops and stores, places to eat, fun little gift places to go. It's a cool little walk around, it's kind of built little neat, and it's kind of scenic. And then there's a fountain there that would have lights and music to it. We ate at Dick's Last Resort. None of us have ever ate there. We didn't really recommend it. The food wasn't good, and they take it pretty literal. Then they had a sky wheel, like they do on the beach, like Myrtle Beach has one. We didn't ride it, but I just liked it and thought it was cool. And then here's the fountain again, so just enjoy. Okay, that brings us to day 4 for Dollywood. So we went to Dollywood, and none of us had never been there before. Everybody talks it up a lot, so we got to check it out. You had to pay to park, so it wasn't bad. There's also another water park that we didn't go to. It's about roughly $200 for 2 people to get in. We walked the entire park and seen pretty much all the sights to see there was. You know, there's kids' activities and different places to eat and rides and different themes around the park. It was kind of neat to see. There was the only American eagles in captivity allowed there, so that was kind of neat. You can see them here in this clip real quick. It tells you a little bit about it. The lines for the rides weren't real long considering how big the park was and how many people were there. There was TV screens on every ride that gave you all the rides and the wait times, so you could see which one maybe you wanted to go to or which one you didn't want to go to considering how fast the line would be. That was a picture of us on the Tornado roller coaster. We rode as many rides as we could, which wasn't too many, but it was pretty hot out that day. A lot of the rides were like temporarily closed for some reason. We got in line for 2 different ones and they like closed while we were in line, so that kind of wasn't fun. There was a big bubble zone for all the kids with like big bubble guns and bubble cannons and bubbles everywhere. That was kind of neat. They had music. And the next roller coaster, well, one of them, there's the TV that I was talking about before. This was on top of waiting in line of the Mystery Mine roller coaster ride, so it was pretty neat. You know, you can see a lot of the park from up there. Then we were going to this ride, the Fire Station one, and this is actually one of the ones that closed while we were in line waiting for it, and it looked cool because it went forward and backwards. So for dinner that night, none of us have ever been to a dinner theater, and we decided to go to the Hatfield and McCoy dinner theater because all the other ones were booked, and you kind of have to book everything down there like a week in advance to even do anything. But we got to book this one, and it was actually right beside the Titanic Museum, so it was pretty neat. And they had like chickens and goats outside, and I really enjoyed this. They had all you can eat food. We actually got nicer seats because somebody took our seat, so we actually sat in about the front row, and they had really good actors. The stage was really cool, and they had very good comedy skits and stuff, and a lot of props they used were pretty cool, and it was just a really cool experience for my first one I got to go to. I would highly recommend it. Okay, so day 5, we pretty much just went and drove around. We went up, well, to start out, we pretty much went and drove around. It's at the very end of Gatlinburg. It is the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It is a national park. It's in the name. We pretty much went and just drove, and if we seen a nice pull-off, we stopped and looked. Like right here was one of the nicest pull-offs. You can see the road down there once I zoom in. It's really small, which is kind of cool. Just to kind of see how big the mountains are and stuff, which is like crazy to see, just the mass of all these mountains. It doesn't cost anything to do this. It was just really cool. I would highly recommend at least just driving up in there and seeing it. If you drive to the highest point, you're actually in North Carolina, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I kind of had to mute some of these clips because there was a ton of wind noise, but there was like people picnicking, people as you can see down here messing around in the creek and stuff. It was pretty cool. We didn't actually see any bears or wildlife or anything, which, oh well, I mean, but it was a really, really nice drive, guys. It was a really hot day that day, and it was just nice to just kind of drive around. And there's nice little walking paths, bridge, lots of hiking you could do. Here's the gas station at the bottom of the hill with a whole bunch of buggies driving around. One of the other stops in Gatlinburg is Sugarland's Distilling Company. They let you, I think it was like a couple bucks, go in. You got to show your ID, and you can taste test all these moonshines. It was pretty cool. These are the 3 we got. Those were our favorite ones. That's the distillery itself. Then we went to the Hollywood Car Museum, which was my favorite by far. I really wanted to go to it. I was really ecstatic to go to it. I was looking forward to it for all week. And here's the entrance, which is pretty cool. There's from the Marvel movie, a bunch of Fast and Furious cars. Here's the inside of one of them, the GTRs. There's the Chevelle. There's one of the Peterbilts from, I think it's Hobbs and Shaw. But I work on big trucks, so I kind of looked at this one all over. It was kind of cool to see, the stuff, they kind of did, that's not also right. But I'm just kind of showing up. I mean, it is also custom made, but it's cool. There's another one of my favorite cars, 1967 Shelby GT500 Eleanor. I always wanted one of these models when I was a kid. That is sweet. From Gone in 60 Seconds. Oh, wow. See it in real life. Look at that. Wow. That's so cool, and the bodywork on it's actually pretty nice. Wow. The Fate Charger, or the Ice Charger. It's from the 8th movie. The turbine engine, so to speak. Wow. Pretty neat. From T2 Judgment Day, when he rides on it. This movie always creeps me out. I didn't realize that he was actually that tall. This is super creepy, and there he is. Got the helmet. There's a Harley that he rode. And he had that lever action shotgun that he used. Yeah. Wow. I didn't realize he's that big of a dude, man. That creeps me out. Walk up the stairs. Here's Christine. I actually watched that movie last year, going to the beach for the first time. It was a Plymouth Fury in the movie. Oh. The Munsters, Dracula. Pretty cool. Here's a Jeep from the newest Transformers movie, Bumblebee. There he is. I have Bumblebee as the Volkswagen Beetle, which he becomes later in the movie, and I'm pretty sure he's the Jeep first in the movie. So it's pretty neat, they got both. Here's everybody's favorite, the 1977 Pontiac Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit that really boasted Pontiac Firebird sales. I like how they're playing the clips of everything. And they got Ghost Rider's motorcycle over here. Another Nicolas Cage movie. The Beverly Hillbillies car. Pretty neat. Kind of cool to see all the extra things on it. Here's the Andy Griffith squad car, 1961 Ford Galaxy. Those were definitely big cars back then. They got Barney on a motorcycle, too. Old military motorcycle. I'm pretty sure this is from the movie Twister. The Jeep pickup, or I think a Comanche. Oh, they got everybody's favorite Jeep here. Wow, they got this from Logan, kind of the X-Men series Jeep Cherokee they made. That's pretty sweet. Sorry for the lighting in here. The Ghostbusters Ecto 1. Wow, that's like super cool. Hartney's Cadillac CTS single edition. It's got hand-done pinstripes on it. Oh, that's so neat. You don't ever see that again. Hand-done pinstripes. About the DeLorean. Days of Thunder car, yellow. Steve McQueen's Le Mans movie. And they got old good movie right there, newer one, Ford versus Ferrari, number 98 GT40. That was a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it because it's part of history. It's very cool how American sports cars can beat the European ones finally in the Le Mans. Boys, 55 Ford Thunderbird, very classic car. First year for the Thunderbird. The next thing we did is Hillbilly Golf. This is when we're standing in line and you can watch the balls come down after the people hit them in the very last hole. I thought that was pretty neat because it catches them all and you can watch them. The line was pretty long. We went in the late evening. It took us a while to get up there, but you get to ride this tram up the hill. Well, it's a mountain. About 300 feet. It's pretty cool. You ride it backwards. There's 2 courses up there. They're both 18 holes. There's lots of stuff to look at on the way up. There's also lots of things they incorporated into the golf course. There's like there's an old tractor there. There's like old tractors and implements and like outhouses and stuff. And it's just really neat because it's like in the middle of the woods up on the side of a hill. We stayed till dark. It was pretty neat up there seeing all the lights on and it all lit up. And of course you have to ride the same tram back down. The line was a little bit long to get back down. I'm not going to complain though. It was neat. It was a good time. I would highly recommend it.
We're doing the left and right.
I'm thinking of running.
So we got to ride the goat coaster. It was a pretty big coaster at night. It was really cool. It's actually in Pigeon Forge, but it's like at the Wares Valley, so it's pretty close to our cabin. I got a picture in front of the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. I thought that was pretty cool. That was in Gatlinburg. So you can't really see that well at night, but here's a thunderstorm at night at our cabin. I thought that was really cool out over the mountains, how it lit everything up. I thought I'd include that. So just enjoy. So day 6, you guessed it, Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Here's kind of a full tour. I kind of videoed most of the stuff. You can see there's so much stuff to see in here. There's knives and antique knives. They have like every single brand of knife you can think of. Case, Spyderco, Benchmade, Gerber, buck knives, Zippos, like everything. They got hunting gear. There's like 3 levels of crazy stuff. They sell guns, they sell, of course, knives, of course, lighters, hunting stuff, fishing stuff, household stuff, decorations, shells, bullets, collectibles, anything. They have so much stuff in there. There's so many displays to look at. Here's one that's moving. It's pretty cool. You gotta check it out, even if you don't want to spend money in there. They have a relic room down there with like antiques and stuff. It was great. We also went to a bunch of pawn shops, and here's us eating at Joe's Crab Shack because we try and eat at places that we don't have at home. So we decided to eat at a Joe's Crab Shack. It was great. First time I've ever been there. And here's the old mill. Real quick, we stopped there. We got our photos done also, the old-timey photos. Here's a picture, just kind of end the video that we got done because we try and get them every time we go on vacation, the old-timey pictures. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe.